Hello everyone. I am starting a new series, weekly developer blogs, where I cover the progress of the last few months of working on Mario Adventure 3. I can't guarantee there'll always be a video, but I just wanted to stay engaged with the community and let everyone know how this is going, and it kind of offers me a motivation to get as much done every week as I can. So I'm going to try to release a video every Tuesday. They're not going to be professionally made or anything like that. So yeah, let's just go ahead and dig into it. So this week I have been working on testing levels. I'm trying to remember. So yeah, don't if you want to avoid spoilers. No, so obviously seeing this is one thing, but one of the things that I've been doing is that there's a lot of levels that take place indoors, like P-Switch, Scurry, P-Switch, Scorch, Scurry. So with that being said, I've had to go through, and what I wanted to do is make sure that the game remains coherent. So I'll be going through and adding overworld levels like this one right here. So this is an overworld level that whenever you go into the door, it takes you inside. It's just a minor little thing, but it kind of keeps things cohesive, like you're going from the map to somewhere else. That's been really, really important to me throughout the game. So a great example of that is, let me go ahead and switch over to the game. Let me show you. Let's go to World 5 real quick. So in here, you go into this pipe, and you can see there's a pipe on the ground. So it says to Piranha Passage Sky. So let's go up here. Go up, 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 and away. And as you see, we are getting higher and higher. And now we are up in the clouds. So, yeah, I passed right over the level. That's a debugging thing. And then I can go back to the ground by going into this level. And so as I'm doing this, I wanted to talk about something. Oh, I keep hitting the spring. This week has been a week of forgotten features. So if you'll notice on this level that the cloud backgrounds take up the entire area, as you would expect when you're high up in the sky. As you get closer to the ground, the clouds are higher up to indicate that you're lower to the ground. I had totally forgot about that feature in the game. So I've been going back, and for vertical sections of the game, I've been adding it so that way that cloud disbursement and star disbursement is coherent with how you're traveling. So as you see, clouds are dispersed, and you go back down here, and the clouds are up in the sky. Minor little thing, but coherent. And now we're back on the ground. One other thing is I added a lot of little objects to the map screen to kind of make them stand out a little bit. So let's go ahead and go back to the first world. This is called Cheep Cheep Channel, and there's a lot of Cheep Cheeps that are on this stage, or this world map. So, and let's go ahead and show off World 2, which is Freezy Forest. And as you can see, there's a lot of Freezies on the screen. So I've been going through and like touching all that up. I also enabled a feature so that when you're on the map screen, if you're on a tile that doesn't have stars, the star indicator does not show up. And then as you see here, there's stars in this level. Stars in this level, and so on and so on, and there are no stars in this level. So that way, you're not going into levels thinking there's stars in there. So that was a big thing that I worked on. Okay, so there's that. I also worked on finally adding a feature to the game that I have been holding off for the past 11 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. I kind of debated on whether or not I wanted to do this, but let me go ahead and enable debug mode. So I'm going to go ahead and show it off. This is Hammer Mario. He can throw hammers. Those hammers can activate blocks. Hammer Mario also has a ground pound. Yes, and that ground pound can activate blocks as well. So I had to spend time getting the ground pound to work. So, you know, to activate it, you jump up in the air, hold down, and press B. So there's that. You see the little puffs of smoke. I did think about making the puffs of smoke actually harm enemies, or stun enemies, but that adds a lot of processing time to an already processor-intensive game. Like, depending on the kinds of enemies, 4 enemies can slow the game down if they're particularly complex. So, yeah. So, luckily, you're not going to see a lot of enemy spam in this game. So, so I held off on that. But, also, whenever I activate the blocks, notice that the animation goes down instead of up. I had to work on that. And, so, there's that. Let's see here. So whenever you ground pound through enemies, you just go right through them. You can also ground pound through bricks, and you just go right through it. Okay, of course I got that. Let's see here. Oh, the ground pound will hurt any enemy that is vulnerable to your hammers. So if the enemy isn't harmed by your hammers, your ground pound isn't going to hurt it either. So this piranha plant. Let me move this out of the way here. That's killed. Oh, well. That's kind of too. As you can see, there's a slight bug. If you go down a pipe, it kind of activates the ground pound still. I had to work on different things that cancel out of the ground pound. So, like, if I'm going to the ground pound and yeah, you saw that really weird thing. There is some slight bugs, but that's during debug, so that really shouldn't be a problem. Let's see. What else did I have to do with that? Oh, well, I had to cancel it so when you go into water, it doesn't activate it anymore. So I'd activate it so that way, oh no, I get hit. I also had to change it so that way, whenever you are climbing, it cancels out of it. It's just a big whole thing that you have to think about whenever you do these power-ups. So yeah, 11 years, and I will say it does not affect the outcome of the game because I designed the levels that are made for Hammer Mario. There are sections that his hammers can like activate the blocks underneath him. So now he can ground pound to do that. So it doesn't really change anything as far as accessibility in the levels, like where you can get to stuff. So don't have to go back and redesign levels around that. So we are good to go there. Awesome. Let's see. What else did I do? Oh yeah. So, so let me go to cancel all this. I want to show something real quick. So whenever I am saving levels to the game and I'm building the ROM, I have a little feature when I save everything. Oh, that is different. I have no idea. Wrong compile, but the following errors occurred. Interesting. Okay, okay. Interesting. I know exactly what the problem is. I need to exit out and go in here. Ha. So I have a laptop that I work on, so you'll have to give this a second. I have a laptop that I work on, and I use GitKraken to sync the files between the two. GitKraken is a source managing tool. If you do any development, you are very aware of what Git is. Let's see here. So, oh boy. All right, so this is not a binary file. I have no idea what I've done to this. So, oh no, I'm going to state these 7 files. This is great. You guys get to see like coding live. And yes, my commit messages are horrible. I'm the only one who's doing it, and sometimes I'm just in a rush to commit myself and move on with life. So let me go back to my game real quick. So I think I know what the problem is. If I go in here, let's move this up here, go to Piranha Passage. It's looking for a protracted piranhas, But there is no such thing as protracted piranhas. Why is it looking for protracted piranhas? Um, so I'm going to tweaks again. Okay, so in these situations, I can go to the file history and I can see where I made changes here. So, all right. So I am going to run the risks of stashing. Stashing basically takes my changes and puts them in a temporary hold, and then we'll see. Nope, I'm going to discard those. I'm going to reset that. Oh boy. So the problem is like I rename protracted piranhas to protracting piranhas because it's more of an action than, something that happened in the past. So let's see if that fixed the problem. Survey says, aha, protracting piranhas, overworld, and piranhas. Okay, so there we go. Whew, my stuff is safe. So back to what I was saying before. So whenever I save the game, I don't think it accepted the command. There we go. It gives me a little message saying that they're almost compiled, and it says there's 2008 bytes left. And if you don't know much about computers as far as size go, that is just shy of 2 kilobytes. And, 2 kilobytes. So, or kbps. But the problem is like if you look, I have like the sizes of my levels. We've got 2.52. We got some small ones at 0.35 and so on and so on. I have a lot of levels complete. There's only 2 levels in the game I have not completed. That is the very final stage and the boss battle stage. And the very final stage, I've got something really big for. So I ran into a problem. So this week, what I've been working on is I have been working on, and I just got this done today, clearing out sections of the ROM and moving code from banks 27, 26, 25 all into bank 24. So that means I had to go through and remove all the end credit sequences, all of the title sequences, because I wasn't using the default title sequences. So essentially, bank 24 is essentially mostly my code. Like I would say 80% all my code. So that opened up banks 25, 26, and 27 for extended level data. So I will have a feature in my editor that will save to extended level data. And this is where the last level will go. And a few, maybe some minor bonus areas or stuff like that. And let me tell you, this was a pain in the butt. So I'm going to get a little technical. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Chrome because someone else has explained this a lot better than I have. So I don't want to get too technical, but this is a forum post. I'm looking for something that's visual. So this is probably a good. Thank you, Wikipedia. So I'm trying to look for a visual representation of bank swapping for people who don't know about it. So unfortunately, I could not find a good map at this. Okay, you know what? That is okay. So essentially what happens is as the game is running, so the NES only has 32 kilobytes of space that's available. So a lot of people probably know that. And what bank swapping does is allow to change what information is addressed to those 32 kilobytes. So this is what all of these banks are for. So for Mario 3, I won't go into details of how like MMC3 works, but for Mario 3, banks 30 and 31 are considered quote-unquote hardwired. Bank 30 is mapped to areas 8000 through 9FFF, and then bank 31 is mapped to E000 through FFFF. And then there's code, like you see this code right here. These are commands that fire on a register that's on the cartridge, and it'll swap out the addressable area between A0000 through DFFF. Okay, so this is really, really important because I was working on moving code. So Bank 25 previously held all the code for the title screen. Well, a good chunk of it. Most importantly, what it contained was, let me scroll to this earlier. I know you guys love looking at assembly data. This is the best. There's a lot of commented code out here. I commented out instead of deleting it in case I need to reference it again. After it's been a few weeks, then I go, all right, I can delete it, and I'll just remove it. So okay, we have this video update table, and there's like different addresses. And what this basically does is that there's some code that runs, and this draws the title screen. So that's what that does. However, the way that it works is that the Mario 3 has what they call graphical update buffers. There is one where you can write memory to it, and then the game will process it. But then you could say, my graphical updates are hardwired in the ROM. So here's the address that you can find those updates, and you'll just process those updates instead of doing it in memory. Well, the problem is that the routine that runs that code, I think it's called video update. Video update. Here we go. Here it is. Haha. Video miscellaneous updates. So I'm going to go to hop in real quick. Sorry, you guys are getting a little bit of a lesson here. So before the game would actually, no, this is still true. I was moving my video updates for the title screen to bank 24. But the problem is the code that consumes those updates, what it does is that it loads in 24 and then, wait a minute, something's right here. Ah, yes. That's not right at all. Nope. 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 I feel like I'm lying to you guys. What was the problem? Huh. I don't remember what the problem was. Okay. Well, anyways, I will say, I could go ahead and talk you through this. So basically what the problem was is that the code was expecting all video updates to be in the address space of C000 through DFFF. And I was moving my code to bank 24, which always gets mapped to A000 and through BFFF. And I went back and forth because I would take the code that was in here and I would go like it was like this, and I would copy it and then move it over into bank 24, and the assembler should update the addresses, but the game would break every single time, and I just couldn't wrap my head around why would the game break, because I'm moving where data is accessed. The assembler was assembling it right, and it turns out that the code that I was doing was saying, hey, I have updates and they're found in bank 24, and the game was overriding bank 24 during an update and decided that, okay, well, now we're referencing in a totally different area and we're just going to write the same value over and over and over again and completely crash the game. So how did I solve that problem? Essentially, what the game was doing before is it was taking these, let's see, title right here. It was mapping these values directly to the update, saying, get this address, update here. Get this address, update here. So what I had to do is write a new routine that would instead take those addresses and then load the information from those into a brand new graphics buffer that I defined up here. And I temporarily use the level data space because the title screen is not using the level data space. Excuse me. So I had to define a new graphics buffer, load all those updates into the graphics buffer, commit it, and then tell the video update, this is where you're going to find the graphics buffer in memory. So that way, when it swapped this bank out, it would find it in memory and not rely on hardwired values. And oh boy, that was a pain in the butt, but totally worth it. And while I was in there, I also worked on a little feature so that way whenever it hits, start, it actually fades out. So if you notice, fades in, hit start, fades out. So that was a little extra thing that I added. That actually was a little harder to do because once I got all this updated, I would hit the start button and the coin sound and the fade out would happen at the exact same time. So it was like, I want the coin sound to play all the way through before we fade out and into the level. It's a little thing, but there's a lot of little things in this game that, people probably won't notice, but maybe people will. Of course, it's basically like a brand new game. So what else did I work on this week? Oh yeah, I also forgot about an enemy. Share, you're watching this YouTube video. I can show you this enemy. I totally forgot about this enemy in the game. So I decided to make use of him in this level. Let's go. Get up there. Let's go up here. Yeah, I know everyone really thinks I should do custom music, but I am not a music artist, and I've asked people for help. I haven't gotten a lot of feedback yet. I have some people who could potentially help me, but we'll see how that pans out. Let's go ahead and Pee-wee Peril. Yeah, this level you're given a P-wing, and you have to play the entire level with the P-wing. So what happens if you get hit? Well, that's okay. You get another P-wing. Oh no. No! Yeah, I kind of sped through that. That's okay. So I was just showing what happens. So this is a helper Lakitu. He will bring you power-ups, and if you lose that power-up, he'll bring you another power-up. So in order to get him, you have to basically bat the projectiles back at the piranha plant. Alrighty, so let's get rid of him. Go get rid of him. Alrighty. I also updated this level because before this level was one continuous level that before this was one continuous level that did not have any checkpoints. So I had to update this level to include a checkpoint. Alright. Now we are getting to the enemy that I totally forgot about, and he was fully coded and everything, so I put him in. It's a Lakitu that throws spiny eggs that charge after you. Yeah. And it's kind of a pain, but you can bat those back. Uh-oh. Alright. Let's go out here. Another thing that I changed is the auto-scrolling in Mario Bros. 3. The format is really weird. I don't do a whole lot of auto-scrolling. There's only 2 or 3 levels that use it, but I did update it so that way you can start auto-scrolling in the middle of a level. So this goes to the midpoint of the same level that we were just on, and now it works again. There we go. Took him out. So, yeah, that's the Lakitu. He stays in a window, he ducks down, and throws spinies at you. The spinies will not hit hatch. So I think I got the idea from Yoshi's Island, because I'm pretty sure Yoshi's Island has something like that. Let's go ahead and pause this. I'm trying to think, what else did I add? I did play around with a concept that ended up not making it into the game. Let me go ahead and reload this. Also, I fixed the, I also added Electros that can be in any level. And Frog Mario can pass through the Electros without getting harmed, but regular Mario will get hurt. I did that because there is a badge that lengthens your airtime, and the whole idea of Frog Mario is that he can swim underwater without losing his breath. But if you have extended airtime, that kind of makes that ability a moot point. So adding the Electros means there's areas that Frog Mario can legitimately access that other like regular power-ups can't do. What was I looking for? I lost my train of thought. What else? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, sorry. I have to go back up here. Yes, I use YYCHR. Old school like that. Hey, I like my tools as I like them. Let's go ahead and switch up this palette. So, alright. So, oh, nope. Let me swap this around. It's probably more like that. Yeah. So, down here, you'll see there is a big XP icon. And then there's a small XP icon. So, what did I do with that? So, originally, well, what I was wanting to do was have an indication that the game has a kill timer. So when you defeat an enemy, there's a kill timer that starts to count down. If you kill another enemy, then its experience points and what you earned before get added together. So for example, if you kill an enemy that gives you 2 experience points, and then kill another enemy that gives you 2 experience points, you now get 2 plus 2 and 2. So you get a total of 6. It's additive. And as long as you keep killing enemies, that kill timer will reset. So it's not like in Mario 3 where you can bounce on enemies indefinitely until you hit the ground and then you get more points. It's more speed based. So your fireballs, your the ground pound, fire dash, those kinds of things that when you kill successive enemies really quick, they will give you bonus experience. I was going to have a thing on the status bar that would show a big XP symbol whenever that kill timer was activated. However, due to some optimizations I made, the status bar doesn't update unless it needs the update, and the kill timer wasn't always telling the status bar to update. And rather than try to work through all this extra stuff to try to get this working, I decided it's not really an aesthetic that's worth the processor time, essentially. So unfortunately, that is a feature that is on the cutting room floor. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything I've worked on this week. Looking at my commit messages, these are levels that I've been testing, and some tweaks, clearing banks, all this other stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'm going to try to release a new video every week, no matter how small the video, how small the changes, to kind of cover what I have been working on. Don't worry, I will not be giving spoilers. Well, I mean, I guess kind of small spoilers. But I won't show off anything that I'm really proud of or anything like that, so you guys can experience it for yourself. So I thank you guys for showing interest in this game. And I will check you guys out next Tuesday. See ya.